Okay, today's goal is to go over the claims management system for medical management online. This is a useful tool that will allow you to track every step that happens with any case that you refer over to us for a variety of different services, including independent medical exams, treatment audits, medical file reviews, etc. And we'll go through all of the different options you have there in a moment. But once you type in medicalmanagementonline.com and get to what we call our front end website, which you're looking at here, to log into the back end, you want to click on this little key over here. So you find these 4 symbols, you see the key, you click on that, and that will get you to the user account screen for the back end. This is auto-populating both my username and password because it remembers me on my computer. But you want to be set up initially with a username and password either from your supervisor or directly with us through our admin. If for some reason you forget your password, you can request a new one right here. But assuming you've got that information properly entered, you can go ahead and log in. Right away, you'll see what we call our dashboard along the left-hand side. This is very straightforward, and what I'm going to do is just go through each item from top to bottom. So the first thing you'll see is the calendar. If you click on the calendar, that's going to give you a view of everything that's happening in the given month. Now you can change the month here, look at prior months, etc. You can filter out the information to look at different aspects of your cases, whether by physician or by certain clinics, etc. But in general, it's a way to just to view the activity that's happening. As you can see, there are several exams scheduled. These would be an example of all the cases under my particular purview. And one thing to note that as I go forward in this presentation, several items are going to be blocked out or redacted, and that's for HIPAA reasons, for privacy. So I'll try to only block out the things that are critical for privacy while allowing certain items also to show, so you get a proper idea of how to do things. But please forgive that. It's something we have to do. So in any one of these windows, I can go ahead and click on the exams that are scheduled. Let's say, let's go to the 24th of March. That's upcoming here. So here you have 3 different exams, 2 of which were rescheduled, and 1 of which is just scheduled for the first time. As you can see, the claimant's name is blocked out, but there's some other relevant information there that gives you an idea of what you would see there. So that's the calendar screen. Now let's go to the cases screen. If I click on cases, here several items are also blocked out. Sorry about that. But as you can see, you have the representative. In this case, that would be you, and then the claim number, the claimant's name, referral date, the status of what's happening with it, and a way to go ahead and look at that particular case or make edits to the case information. And I'll go through step by step how to enter a new case in just a moment. But this is a good summary page just to look at all of your active cases. And in looking at that, I want to just make a note here of this middle dashboard. Any case that you refer over to us, say for an IME, is going to go through this initial process. So it'll start out as a referral and immediately will go into an unassigned location. We will be alerted that a new referral has come over, and very quickly, within a day or less, that particular referral will move into an awaiting scheduling position. That's kind of the first step in the process where we begin to work on that referral and get it moving through our system. And then just on down the line, awaiting letter, awaiting records, which you will be tasked with uploading, or it will be records that you ended up emailing to us or what have you that we'll upload. And I'll go through how to upload records in just a moment as well. File preparation, awaiting summary, file to physician, awaiting dictation, awaiting transcription, quality assurance, the physician review and sign off, and then finally awaiting billing. Any one of these particular areas can be clicked upon so that you could at any moment see which of your cases are in this particular area or step in the process. So for example, There's 3 files waiting for preparation right here. So let's click on that. It's going to give you, again, the representative, which is always going to be you, the claim number, the claimant, referral date, the status, etc. And it's just another way to look at the cases that are under your management. So with that said, let's move into service request. This is what you would do to enter in a new case to create a new referral. So if you click on that, then you see the word case here. So you can either click on that case or this case right here. Both have the same effect. Immediately, you're going to be asked to talk about or to select what type of service you are requesting. It defaults to independent medical examination or IME, but there's a number of different audits here, including treatment audit, medical peer review, billing and coding review, an addendum for an IME, another type of addendum, case chronology, kind of open-ended other services, and testimony. So let's just pretend that we're doing referring a case over for an IME. Also, if you click this box, it says notify me via email when someone posts comments for this case. That's useful, particularly if it's a case you wanted to keep a close eye on. You can certainly log in at any time and see what's happening with the referral and the case via this screen, but this just gives you an extra bit of information coming to you if it's a case that you're wanting to be made aware of every step as it happens. But that said, you would then go to continue. And now this is the new case information screen. Every cell that is marked in red is a required cell or field that must be filled out. Anything in black doesn't have to be filled out, with the exception of specialties at the bottom. I'll talk about that in a second. But this is where you just put in everything from the general information about the insured, the claim number, etc., date of loss, and then the claimant, which may or may not be the insured, could be a passenger, etc., and all the information you have about that. And the more information you can give us, the better here. Any associated attorney, and then again, you need to pick at least one specialty. So that could be a family practice doctor, or neurology or neurologist, orthopedic surgery doctor, etc. But you want to pick one specialty at least with regard to what your service request is. And then any other notes or issues that you have to add, anything that can be helpful for us, particularly in scheduling something like an IME. Down here again, this is just that same box that we pre-selected, notify me via email when someone posts comments for this case. So again, keep that checked if you want to be made aware real time when things happen. But assuming that we got all this information entered, particularly in the red fields, then you'd go ahead and click submit. Now you'll see that since I haven't done that, and if I hit submit, it's going to come up and say, hey, you haven't put in all the required information. And since we're not setting up a new case today, we won't go through with that, but I will show you what it looks like when you successfully do enter all the correct information with a real case. So let's immediately go back up here and pretend that we set up a new case. I'm going to click on cases. So here we have the 3 different cases. I will pick one of these, and I want to talk about not only how to edit case information, but how to upload records, which is an important part of the process from your end in particular. So let's pick this one right here. Sorry about the redacted information. Okay, so here we have a case, and this is the general view screen giving the basic information that you would have entered initially, and then any notes that have happened. In this case, it's talking about a significant amount of property damage. That's good information for us to have. This is a new referral, so there's not much activity here yet. And as you can see, the case status is in file preparation, so it's relatively early in the process. If you're setting up a new case, you're going to want to make sure you have this information in here. If there's something you need to change, you can go to the edit screen. It brings you right back to that screen that you saw when you were initially setting up the case. If there's any exams already scheduled, it's going to show right here. In this case, it hasn't happened yet. And then the documents screen right here is where you would not only see the documents that have already been uploaded but also this is where you upload documents. So let's assume you haven't uploaded any documents for a moment, and you were going to do that. So we'd click on that tab. This would get us to the Upload Documents screen. This screen is very straightforward to use. The first thing you would do for uploading records is you select, what type of thing you're uploading. So let's assume it's just records. So you could select that. That's fine. It's not terribly important that you're, exact in what you're classifying the upload as. We will know that it's some kind of record or file associated with that particular case, simply because you are inside of that case when you're in this screen. So don't worry too much about that. The next is Choose File. That's going to allow you to go to your computer and pick the appropriate records for upload. A couple of notes about this. Number one, it can only be up to 20 megabytes in size as a single upload. That shouldn't be a problem, and while we are in the process of expanding that to a larger memory size, it's something to keep in mind. And then number two, we recommend that you upload files in a zip file format. Now, that's essentially collecting a number of different files together and putting them into a compressed folder. If you need help on doing that, please contact us or ask a colleague or Google it, etc. But creating a zip file, which is just a series, again, of collected files into a folder, is a fantastic way of kind of getting it all done at once. That way you're not going through this particular process time and time again for each file. It's just a time saver. And then number two, the file name. So let's say you zip a bunch of files together into a zip file folder. Don't give the name of that zip file folder, don't give it a strange name. Keep things out of it, like parentheses, periods, hyphens, multiple dashes, etc. Our system doesn't like a lot of those special characters. It's much more helpful if you just call it something simple like records 1 or records 2, letters 3. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to be terribly specific in the name of that zip folder, because we'll know that all of those documents are associated with this particular case already, because again, you're inside that case. I have the claimant's name blocked out up here, but the claimant's name would be showing here, etc. We will see that that upload is specific to that particular case, and we'll have no trouble sorting those records accordingly. One thing that helps us, because we know that anytime you're uploading a record or a file with a case, that record or set of records or file is unsorted as it comes in. And one of the things we do is sort the records for the doctor or what have you. So it helps us if you type in unsorted in this custom title 1 cell, or if you're doing it here, custom title 2, or even just the letter U. It's not required that you do that, but it makes our job a little easier. And thanks if you remember to do that. So let's say we go ahead and upload a document. You get your document selected, or your zip file of records, and you hit upload. Once you've done that, it will appear in the document list, assuming you were successful in uploading it. So you'll come back here and you'll see that it's there. If it's larger than 20 megabytes, it will not have uploaded, so you won't see it in the list. Even if it does appear in the list and it's more than 20 megabytes, it's not really there. The one way to test it is to click download. If you're able to successfully download off of that system, then we can download it as well, and you've been successful. But you want to make sure that collection of zip files, collection of records in the zip folder does not exceed 20 megabytes. It's a very simple procedure to find out. Once you zip a bunch of records together into a zip folder, you can just right-click on it and look at its properties, and it'll tell you how big it is. And again, ask a colleague or call us, and we will help you in sort of evaluating that. But assuming you've got your records uploaded successfully, that's probably the last step in the process in terms of what we need to kind of get moving on the file and taking care of business for you. So you can always come back at any time, to any particular case and take a look at, the details about the case itself, make any changes, look at the exams that are set or have happened, and then upload new documents. And that is essentially the nuts and bolts of how this system works, and where you'll spend most of your time. Now you can also go down here below service request and look at reports. Reports allow you to sort of query all of the cases that you referred over to us by any number of different methods. Cases awaiting records. You can look by location, by clinic, etc. There's just a lot of different ways to look at the activity that we're managing for you, and that can be helpful in your planning. You can make changes to your account here, change your password, etc., and then log out. And that is about it. Thank you very much for listening to this presentation, and please by all means consider Medical Management Online and all of our representatives an immediate resource to you. If you have any questions whatsoever, contact us and we will be very quick in getting back to you and helping you kind of move through the system and make it a useful tool for you and your company. Thank you.